everybody. I started this new group to kind of help for you to find videos easier, because I know the main Peppi Gel group is quite large. So I'm going to do a tutorial video from start to finish, my whole entire process. It's going to be a little bit lengthy because I'm going to do nail prep and I'm going to do application. So I'm going to start with my nail prep. My nails need to be cut and trimmed. I am doing a round shape nail. So I'm going to go ahead and cut in a round shape. I'm not going to cut straight across. So I did just actually nick my pointer here on accident, but that's okay. So this is just a very basic demo, I should say, just so you guys know where to go, or have somewhere to go to see it. We plan to put a lot more demos in here for you guys to see. So again, I'm keeping a round shaped nail, so I'm not cutting straight across. I'm cutting them to make it easier to keep that shape when I file. Just a little bit at a time so I can keep them round, overall round. Okay. So now I cut them, they look a little bit ragged. I'm gonna go ahead and file them. So what I like to do is use the edge of the table as a guide to keep my hand nice and steady. So hopefully you can see that. I'm going to angle it up just in case because I can't see the camera. So I'm going to start with my thumb. I'm going to go in on the side walls. I'm not going to overdo it because it's not good for the nail if you are over filing. You're going to thin it over time and you don't want to do that. So I do want them to look thin, but I have wide nail beds, so they can only go so thin, if that makes sense, so narrow. So I just gotta work what I was blessed with, I guess. So I'm gonna go ahead, do the pointer. This one's a little bit, the shape's a little messed up on it because I nicked it trying to plug in the camera to make this video, but that's okay. We will fix it. Just gonna take a little extra. So again, this is a long tutorial video, but I'm gonna explain to you the whole entire process of Peppi. So if you're new, this is a really good place for you to start. There we go. Got it fixed. Now we're gonna go over here. I got a little bit of product left from the last manicure on the nail bed, which is okay because I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to cheat to get it off. And I'll tell you why I did it when I get there. Alright, so we're going in, making sure I'm keeping this nice round shape. So I'm hoping this group will help. It's not a posting group. All it is a place to just come and watch tutorials, and that's it. You can do this on our YouTube as well, but I know, like, if you're already in the Facebook app, it's sometimes easier. So I'm just giving another alternative, and also just a straight demo with no other confusion going on in our video. I know oftentimes we have like giveaways and all that other stuff, so. Alright, so just really taking my time, keeping my shape nice and round how I want it. So the key is when you cut your nails or trim them, cut them in the shape that you're going for, the best of your ability. Obviously you really can't because of the way the nail clippers are made. But just do the best that you can. So you can see I went ahead, I got my shape fixed up nice and good. What I'm going to do is after I put the product on, that's when I'll re-examine my nail shape and make sure that I'm happy with it and it looks like this hand over here. So your starter kit comes with a buffer block. This is all you really need to get started, but I am going to show you how to use both, a buffer block and a drill. But I am going to start with a drill. Just so I can show you some important information. So on the drill, I'm going to go nice and light on my nail. I'm not overdoing it. This is very soft. It doesn't hurt the nail bed by any means, but I'm not going to overdo it, okay? I'm just going to go nice and soft. But what I like is I can go all the way up to the cuticle without getting on it, and really getting all that overgrowth on the nail off, keeping it clean. Okay, it's a lot easier to do this than it is with the buffer, but you can use a cuticle remover or use your cuticle pusher and scrape it off. It's totally fine, and then buff your nails. The only thing is, if you use a cuticle remover, you have to be really careful because they leave a lot of oils, and you don't want that oil to cause lifting on your nail bed, so you would have to go back and use a soap like Dawn dish soap that really removes oil and take care of it. So I'm not going on my cuticle, I'm going right in front of it and just removing the hairline or the overgrowth line. So here where that leftover product was, I didn't want to soak in acetone any longer than I had to. So I'm just buffing off that product right there to get it off. Okay, so nice and easy. Don't overdo it because you will thin your nails out over time. Just do enough to make the shine go away. That's the only important thing, is just making sure the nails aren't so slick. Where the product is, I'm doing extra just on that spot. I got the drill angled just right. And getting it off. And that's why this comes in handy. And you can see my nails are getting nice and dry now. So now let me get up by the cuticle and take it off. So if you can't hold your hand steady, keep it on the table, keep it on the edge back here, like whatever you need to do. Everything with Peppi is about patience. You gotta be patient. The whole process is very quick, but take your time. Enjoy a few minutes to yourself of quiet time and just really take your time so you get that perfect Peppi cure that you're looking for. Alright, one last finger. So again, I'm not going too much. It sounds more than it is, but it's not. I'm just getting that shine off the nail bed. Taking my time. These are my natural nails, just in case if anybody's wondering. They are. By the time you guys see this, there'll be quite a few videos in here before we start telling everybody about the group. Really just want to load it up with some tutorials. So now that I'm done with the drill, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use a pretty roughed up part of the buffer because it's not as abrasive. And I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick over. So if you were buffing your nails, you would just use the buffer. And you can see it does the same exact job. So I'm just showing you real quick. I go really fast. I'm careful to not get on my cuticle because the buffer is abrasive. I don't want to nick it and then have a yucky cut or something. Okay. So at this point, you'll then take your cuticle pusher, which I don't have in front of me, but Peppi has a cuticle pusher, and just push your cuticles back. What I'm using right now is called the Ask Contour Nail File. You can get this on QVC. It's pricey. It's like 20 bucks. you don't need it if you have the drill. If you don't have the drill, this is definitely awesome because it also helps get cuticle off the nail bed. And it's pushing them back at the same time. My mom actually got me this as a gift, and I love it. They're really awesome. So you can use this or the cuticle pusher that comes in your deluxe kit, or you can order it separate on our website. It's a really pretty one. It's like a marble, oil marble one. So basically it pushed all my cuticles back for me, but I'm gonna go ahead and use the big side here just to make sure. So what I'm doing is getting it off my nail, completely off my nails. Very important that the cuticles are removed, pushing them back, and it creates like a little wall right there. So it helps actually when you're trying to stop before your cuticle with the product, and it prevents lifting. Now we're going to go ahead and jump right into application. I'm going to take whatever I have handy, happens to be this little brush, the end of it, and I'm going to stir the powder to loosen it. What this is going to do is make the powder nice and fluffy, so when you dip it in, it's going to lay nice and flat and even. All of the bottles are labeled on the front and back, so you have your numbers and what the bottle is. So this is a Shine. We're actually going to start with our number 1, which is our Ready. When you're using this product, you want to be very careful to just pull the brush straight in and out of the bottle. If you're wiping it on the neck or the rim, you're going to glue your lid shut, okay? The reason being is number 1 is an adhesive. That's how we get the powder to stick to your nail. So if you're using it as an adhesive and you're not careful, you can get the lid stuck closed, and it will be hard to open. So there's an inside wiper that really helps to take off the excess liquid, so you can apply a nice thin amount of liquid onto your nail, which is really important if you want a nice thin smooth pedicure. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the first dip. We're not going to go all the way to the cuticle line, but we're going to go about 90% of the way up the nail. And this is not my dominant hand, so it's going to take me a little bit longer than usual. And then you're going to dip. And you can see it's a nice, smooth, even dip. That has to do with doing a thin amount of liquid and fluffing up the powder before I dipped it in. So again, we're starting, spreading the liquid nice and thin, and just taking our time. This product really requires you to take your time and to be focused, especially when we transition from step 2 to step 3. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go into the next nail. Again, this is a longer tutorial because I'm starting, or I did start from the beginning. Of nail prep to the whole application process. Okay. So it's looking good already. Take your time. Go nice and easy. Thin layers, fluffy powder, thin, even dips. And it looks great. And by the way, the color I am using is Frose All Day. In the title of the video, I'll put in all the information that I think you guys might need. So this group again is just going to be tutorials and nothing else. It's going to be a very boring atmosphere, but it's really because we want you to learn how to use your product and get the most enjoyment out of it. So now that we've applied our first layer, again, stopping about 90% up the nail, we're going to go ahead and wipe off the excess powder. You can use any brush at home. The Peppi duster comes in your starter kit, the deluxe starter kit, let me correct myself. And you can also purchase it individually on the website. But what you have to do in between each dip is wipe the excess powder off. Sorry, ladies. I've been fighting a cold for the last several days from this weather. Okay, so now we're going to go into our second dip. Going nice and slow. I'm going to spread the liquid, and then I'm going to fan the brush out, stopping a hairline before the cuticle. A hairline before the cuticle. The reason is if you get on the cuticle, you're going to have a natural lift as your nails grow out. So to prevent that, you're going to stop a hairline before the cuticle. As you can see, I don't put my brush instantly at the top. I put all the liquid on my nail first, spread it out nice and even, and then I pause and I fan my brush. I slide it up just enough, and it creates that perfect cuticle line without having to do too much work. It has literally been a game changer for myself and for a lot of other babes, because I mean, we all want that perfect cuticle line, and if you don't paint your nails often, like, it's really hard to do. And that's literally the easiest trick for me to get it perfect. So we're going to go ahead. We're on our second dip still. I'm moving in. Really taking my time. There's no need to rush. We're doing this to enjoy ourselves, right? Give ourselves a few quiet moments. And we're going to go ahead and dip. So I'm going to go ahead and go in to the next nail. I will put this video on YouTube as well, just in case anybody's looking for it elsewhere. It will get buried over time, but this group is only going to be demos, and it'll be easy to find. Okay, so we got one more second dip to do here on the thumb. Just really taking our time. Very important. Take your time, enjoy what you're doing, and learn the process so you can get the fullest fulfillment, enjoyment out of the product. Alright, so we're going to do one more dip. 3 dips is always recommended. 3 dips is the strongest, and it's going to give you the best color results in the ends. And let me just reiterate, it's going to make the powder the strongest for it to last for 2 to 3 weeks, or longer if you can go longer. I think the longest I've gone was about 4 weeks roughly, give or take. So on the third layer, you're going to do the same as the second, full cover on the nail, but stopping a hairline before the cuticle. So a hairline before the cuticle. Now we're going to go ahead and go in. This is our third and final dip. Third and final dip. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead, go on to the next finger. This finger is a little wider, so it requires an extra dip of liquid. I'm doing the fan method nice and slow so I get that perfect cuticle line. So as you guys can see, I'm really taking my time, and overall, it does not take long to do your nails. It's a very quick process at the end when you're wearing it for 2 to 3 weeks and just saving money and time from the salon when you can just do it right at home, do it after dinner, before you go to work, whenever. Whatever is easy, convenient time. I don't know about you ladies, but I am all about convenience. Okay, so we got one more dip. Again, wiping excess powder off in between each dip. And the reason we do this is to keep the brush nice and clean. Any buildup over time will contaminate your liquid, which is not something that any of us want to do. Alright, third and final dip. See how easy that was? So easy. Okay, so again, I'm wearing Frose all day. We're going to go ahead, wipe the excess powder off one last time. I'm going to wipe it off my mat here. Now we're going to go in for our number 2, our set. Your number 2 is your curing agent for both your 1 and your 3. So anytime it comes in contact with either one of those liquids, it's going to cure it and solidify it. So we're going to go ahead and do that now for the first part of our dip. You can go a little bit heavier on this round just to make sure it adheres, if I could talk, and stays for a long time so you get that long wear that you're looking for. You want to make sure that you get your tips and really seal those in. So now we're going to go ahead and wait for about a minute or so. We're going to clean up our shape a little bit, and we're going to buff and file these down so they look nice and smooth like these. But as you can see, they are pretty smooth. A lot of that has to do, well, everything has to do with it having me mixing the powder for it to be loose and doing thin layers of liquid. Also, the way I dip. If you notice, I dip like this at an angle. If you dip flat like this, you run risk of pushing the liquid off your nail bed, causing goopiness on the side. So always dip at the same angle that I just did here. So we're gonna wait another minute. In the end, they're gonna be nice and shiny like this hand over here. I'm really hoping you guys can see this. I have no idea what angle I'm working with right now. Alright. So it's been about a minute or so. I don't have a timer. I'm just taking a wild guess here. But I'm going to go ahead and take my file and I'm going to correct my shape here from the powder. So I'm going to go ahead and use the desk as my guidance. Set my finger at the edge there. Taking my time, making sure the shape is exactly how I want, because I don't want to spend time going back later to fix it. I want it to be perfect right off the bat. I like to go in the side walls just to make sure they're nice and even. And just really take my time. There we go. So now we're going to go to the next finger. I'm hoping you can see this. Just really taking my time. So it's never a race to get it done. I know we're always in a hurry to do things so we can move on to whatever else is going on in our lives, but we all deserve quiet time. We all deserve to be pampered, and that's really what this is about, ladies, is just doing something that you enjoy. we gotta enjoy ourselves, you know? The world's so busy, we gotta slow down and just take time. Alright, so now we're going to the thumb. Getting in the sidewall first and fixing my shape. I am doing a round shape. This is only my third time doing it, so I'm still practicing getting it perfect. Before I was doing a square or squoval type shape, and now I changed it just to have something new going on. So let me fix this one. And I think that's pretty good here. This is really the time, like, if you want to make any shape corrections, this is really the time to do it. Because you can see really nicely when the product's on the outline of your nail a little bit better. There we go. Okay, so in your kit, again, it comes with the buffer. You can 100% use the buffer, and like really the job is very minimal of what you have to do if you get a nice thin even dip. But for the ladies who want to see the drill, I'll go ahead and do the drill, and then I'll do the buffer again just to show you guys for fun. But with the drill, I use the metal bit so it doesn't hurt my skin if I go off, and it's not going to nick my cuticles. Everything's going to stay nice and clean and in shape like I prefer. So if you get carpal tunnel or arthritis or whatever in your hand like I do, the drill is really beneficial because your fingers won't lock up like with the buffer. So just taking my time. It's all about time. I can't honestly say that enough. Enjoy your quiet time. Do it with a girlfriend. Drink some wine. Whatever you prefer. Watch Netflix. Well, listen to Netflix. Watch your nails. So I like, the one thing that's good about the drill is you can really get around your cuticle line, so if you did go too far up, it's a good chance to fix it. Just got to be careful not to tear your skin up while you're doing it. So I usually just start at the main part of the nail doing one side and then going over to the other side, because angles are hard, you know, you got to work a little bit at a time with your nails here. Right, 3 fingers down, 2 more to go. I love the fanning of the brush for the cuticle line. It really helps to get that perfect seamless look without like trying to get all fancy and, you know, painting the brush in that half moon shape. It really is like a good little trick, honestly. Which nobody talks about. Like, I had to figure that one out on my own. And I'm like, why does nobody like teach people that? So the thumb is the hardest just because of the angle, but it's still perfect. All right, so that's it. Really quick and easy. I still like to take the buffer, and I'm just gonna show anybody who doesn't have a drill, you get the same look, nice and thin. So you just gotta be careful not to go all the way up on that cuticle because the buffer is abrasive. You don't wanna nick it up and have any cuts. Cuticle care is really important for healthy nails. You wanna take care of them. After every Peppi cure, when I'm completely finished, I actually go and do like a salt or sugar scrub on my hands to remove any like product I may have gotten on my skin or the dryness from the acetone from removal. I go ahead and scrub all of that off and give my nails a nice little facelift. And then I put Vaseline on afterwards. It really rejuvenates the entire hand and the cuticles, or I use my favorite coconut oil from Coco and Company. So this is the time you would really check, make sure everything looks exactly how you want it. I'm pretty happy overall, but my pointer is a little bit off shape. So let me go ahead and just run that around a little bit. There we go. And it doesn't take much. These files do a lot. We have the files on the website as well. There we go. It's exactly how I want. So now we're gonna go ahead and make sure we wipe off the excess debris from the nail bed and get it out of the way. Now we're gonna go ahead and apply our set number 2 one more time. This time we are not going to drench the nails. We're going to do just enough to cover the nails so it does its job, but we're not going to over drench the nails. It's very important. If you put it on too heavy at this stage, it's not going to absorb all the way into the nail, causing adverse effects on your number 3 bottle. So just enough to cover the nail, but not drench it. You always want to make sure you get your tips, as you see me doing here, to seal in the product. And you're going to do that with your number 3, which is going to be your final stage of sealing and making sure it stays secure. So we are going to wait 2 minutes at this stage for number 2 to absorb into the nail product. We need it to absorb fully in, just enough so there's only a little bit of curing left in the number 2 to cure the number 3 properly. So we're going to go ahead and wait. We recommend 2 minutes waiting at this stage just to be safe and make sure it's like thoroughly going in. And I see a little flaw here, so it's a good time to fix that. There we go. The round shape is a little bit more challenging, not very hard, but just a little more concentration to get the even round all the way across. So it's been about 30 seconds or so, but I'm gonna go ahead and just wipe the nails of any number 2 residue. Very important. I'm still gonna wait for the number 2 to absorb before we move on to the number 3. So we are getting close to done. After we do the number 3, my nails will be dry in 2 minutes and we'll be good to go about for 2, 3, 4 weeks, however long I need to go. So give it another few more seconds. And this is the whole process, ladies, from start to finish. Taking my time, and really enjoying what I'm doing and so on, and really being happy with my Peppi cure. And you know, I want it to stay on. This time I think I'm actually going to have it on for about 3 weeks, so you guys will see. Nail care, proper prep, like all this stuff, the way you apply, it's all very important and coincide together in how long the nail is going to last, especially your prep. If your prep isn't there, your nails are not going to stay on for 2 to 3 weeks. Alright, so I'm going to have a paper towel here, and now we're going to work with our number 3, our shine. I'm going to apply thin, even layers and wipe the brush on the paper towel. Each nail I do is 2 to 3 quick strokes on the first round of number 3. Quick strokes. If you let your brush sit on the nail for too long, you're allowing that number 2 to enter the territory of your brush in your number 3 bottle that you don't want it to enter. The other thing I'm doing, if you're noticing or not, is I'm wiping on a different spot of the paper towel every time before I dip back into the bottle. Again, this is eliminating that number 2 residue. I'm immediately going to go back in and do my second round of number 3. Here you can choose if you want to continue to wipe your brush for extra precaution, or you can do as I'm doing. If you do all the other steps, you're good to go. It's not a big deal. Also notice that I am sealing my edges or capping the edges of the nail. This is going to keep the product from lifting at the edge. If you use your nails as tools or just rough in general, very active, this is going to help protect them. And that's it, ladies. This is a full Peppi cure tutorial. In 2 minutes exactly, these nails will be dry and I'll be able to touch them. So we're going to hang out here until they're dry because I want to show you that. So I do want to reiterate, when you wipe your number 3 brush, a different spot on the paper towel every single time. 2 to 3 quick strokes. Very important. Do not allow too much brush to nail contact. You're allowing that number 2 residue to come through. So if you follow all the steps in this video to the T, your product will last until it runs out. So these are almost dry. Give it another minute. I tend to get impatient even over 2 minutes before I touch them. So we're almost there. We will be posting more videos just in case if anybody finds this before I put the word out there. We will be posting more videos, but this group is specifically just for tutorials and nothing else. We're not showing off anything or doing anything special. It's just tutorial videos, that's it. So I'll give it another 20 seconds or so, and these should be dry. And that's it. I think this is my 4th video today because I did Instagram videos, so I think I am nailed out for one day. At least doing nails. You know I love my Peppi. Alright, so we are dry. Completely dry. And that's it, ladies. Follow all those steps. I hope this helps. If you have any questions about application, please email peppigel@gmail.com. Any products that I use that are not Peppi related, I will post them in the title of the video. So make sure you guys look there if you have any questions about anything specific that I used. Alright, thanks. Oops. I can't see to even end this video.